G'day lovers, I am just testing the audio. Test, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, la belle vie, sans amour, sans souci, sans problème.
G'day lovers. Have you ever been to France and you walk into a bakery and suddenly you forget completely how to order a baguette? Or you're at a restaurant and you're trying your very best to speak French and the waiter gives you the menu and says, "But we can speak in English." Or you are trying to talk to some really charming Frenchie and suddenly every single word you learnt at high school just goes out of your head and you're just left I don't want that for you. And so we're here to talk about how to overcome that. My name is Claire and I run Talk Dirty in French, a place to learn how to speak confidently about all kinds of topics in an easy, fun and straightforward way. There are two reasons why we really find it so difficult. The first reason is the way we're taught at school is really terrible. So when we're young, we're taught in a really boring way that focuses on grammar and doesn't focus on things we can action. Then when we're old enough to actually go to France and enjoy these things, we feel we don't have the time to learn French. So I'm going to unlock the 3 secrets that will actually help us overcome those challenges. But before I do a little story, because I can relate, this happened to me. I actually failed French in high school and I didn't realize that my life would end up here in France, in Paris. But about 7 or 8 years ago, I followed someone to France for love, and within 6 months, that was over. It didn't work out. Suddenly I was alone in Paris, knowing no one and pretty much none of the language. Like I'd studied a few classes, I'd done Duolingo, I knew how to say like I have a red belt, and by this stage I could ask for a baguette, but that was it. And so it was only through making friends, working and actually dating that I really got to understand how to speak French the informal and practical way. Now here's where you're having trouble. People are trying to teach you way too much. We need to really pare it back, and people are teaching in a way that is really discouraging, so we're going to make it fun. The 3 secrets to actually learning French well is it has to be fun for you. It has to be useful, it has to be really actionable, the right words, the right context. And finally, it has to be simple. Now, that sounds obvious, but oh my gosh, simple is really hard to get right. Let me tell you why. There are 17 ways to conjugate a verb in French, but then you have to apply those ways to different genders, to if it's formal or informal. So the way I'm going to conjugate, if I'm saying me versus you versus we, formal versus you, formal versus them, all women versus them, women and men versus them, men, they're all different. And so really, I worked it out, that's like 135 different ways to conjugate a verb, right? I focus on 3. What are you really going to use day in, day out? Now, this is absolutely not for everyone. It is certainly not for perfectionists or people who are really into the rules of grammar. I am not a linguist, nor am I a certified language teacher. Here's who this is going to work for. People who understand that being understood is absolutely better than being perfect. People who have a cheeky sense of humor, because that's how we bring in the fun. And the other group of people is, you don't mind about focusing on the informal. You get that informal is fine most of the time. If you fit all of those boxes, then we can keep going. If not, I can make other recommendations. And I do guarantee you this is going to be fun and it is going to work. And here's how I know. I have taught thousands and thousands of people confident communication. So recently I have just come from working 7 years at a very, very large American company, teaching communication for them all over the world. I've taught physically, run workshops for hundreds of people in 12 countries, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, India, Morocco, Italy, Spain, Portugal, France, obviously where I'm based, the UK, Ireland, Finland, and of course the US of A. So these are some of the countries that I've been working. I've worked in lots of cultural contexts, and then of course virtually I've taught thousands and thousands of people online. So I know how to teach, I know how to get you ready to learn what you want to know in French. Now I have two kinds of people who come to me to learn French. One group because they think it's the sexiest language in the world, which it is. A 2017 study of 15,000 people proved that French is judged the sexiest language and the sexiest accent in the world. Australian ranks pretty high too. Number two, people who want to learn because they actually really want to be able to operate in French, be able to make a joke in French, be able to order food in French. If you're in either of those groups, great. If you're in both of them, even better. So how do we go about doing this? The first step is pretty simple. It doesn't require a lot from you. It doesn't cost a thing. All you've got to do is click below and you've got to sign up for my 7-day email course. That's it. I'm going to send you 7 days of emails. There's 8 tips to actually get you started with the foundations, and then we can go from there. So there's no commitment. Do it now. This won't be free forever, I promise you. So now's the time to sign up. Just press the button, and remember, if today is not the day that you start to learn this French language, that will be one more day that has passed where you have not moved forward to learning French. Let me help you. Thank you so much. See you online. Bisous. Yeah, bye.
On s'amuse à passer sans peur du lendemain.